Hi guys, this is Pradeep. So whenever you are applying for any job interview, SAP consultant, and that time if some experience are there, so particularly they are looking that you must have some project experience. And what type of project experience they are looking here? Uh, you will find like the technical language will be given here that one end-to-end implementation knowledge is required. S4 HANA Finance migration is preferred. So let's understand today what are there are different types of projects, what type of projects are there, or whenever you are going to be there in one company and you will deploy it in a project. So what kind of project you can expect? Or when you are going to prepare for your interview, so that time what kind of project knowledge you have, or whenever you are going to show different business scenarios, what type of project should be there in your resume. I have seen a lot of people, they are just showing in resume that having knowledge of this or having knowledge of this skills. It is not going to like work like that. You have to show that this particular business process related to which project, because every project's having its own requirement and accordingly the questions will be there. So let's get started. Types of project. So in types of project, you will find the first one I will take here example, that is Greenfield Implementation project. So it is nothing but the new implementation. So here you can see the I have taken here example S4 HANA, but in old days also we are doing ECC new implementation, but now no company will go for ECC implementation for new implementation point of view. So ECC will find only the support projects will be there. So whenever it is new implementation, as very soon SCC is going to be outdated, so all companies are going for new implementation, means it will be always Greenfield Implementation project. So in Greenfield Implementation, and as I said, we are going to take the technology as S4 HANA. So this one is implemented as a new ERP system in any organization by replacing the old one. Now, when I'm saying the old one, this old one is the old one is maybe any ERP they are using, not SAP, any other ERP. It may be a, let's say Oracle, it may be Microsoft Dynamics, it can be anything. It may be non-ERP also. Let's say companies are not currently using ERP, different applications they are using in different department. Now they want to go for a ERP implementation, and they have selected here that is S4 HANA or SAP S4 HANA implementation. So this is your new implementation. So in new implementation, whatever the business process currently customers they have, so all the business process will come under your S4 implementation or in SAP implementation. So we are going to discard the old system, or that we are saying that legacy system. So if currently client is using or customer is using, let's say Microsoft Dynamics. So all the data, whatever it is there in the Microsoft Dynamics, that we will bring into SAP system, plus our new solutions or all the business process will be introduced with S4 HANA. Maybe in Microsoft Dynamics, all the features are not available. So no need to worry. You are going to build your own configuration from the scratch. Only the data we are going to bring into Microsoft Dynamics or any other applications what they have. So all the master data will come, all the line items. So everything will be there in your existing S4 system during your cutover activity. So that means you are going to start this project from zero, and accordingly you are going to prepare your blueprints or the required process documents, whatever it is required. So this is your Greenfield implementation. And whenever companies are saying you should have at least one end-to-end knowledge on this, end to end means it is the Greenfield implementation, because you can handle everything your own in this. So this includes multiple business process. This includes like you are going to introduce finance, you are going to include management accounting, you are going to include FACM, credit management, collection, everything. Again, it's not mandatory that everything will be there all in one project. Maybe initially they will go for let's say finance and management accounting. Next phase they will introduce here FACM. So as per the budget, as per the requirement, they will choose the product accordingly, but everything will start from zero. And in every job interview you will find there is a requirement, or when they are sorting the candidate, so that time they will look into your resume that one end-to-end implementation knowledge you have. Whenever they are saying that, or any interviewer is asking that you should have one end-to-end implementation, that does not mean that you already work in any project. If you have already worked and you are going to upgrade or you are switching your job, that is fine. But if anyone you are going to start your SAP career newly, that at least you should have all the knowledges. Each and every scenario you configured from the new implementation point of view in the sandbox system. You did all the configuration, you tested it, you prepared all the your scripts, test scripts, everything. So particularly here, whenever we are going to see any new implementation, that means here the project document or the blueprint must. Okay, so if I will show you one blueprint. So this is one dummy blueprint which I used to use in my live session. So here you can see each and every configuration. It is S4 HANA related, and each and everything is included here, all the business process. And if you'll see what are the business process are required here, so all the business process, like you can see, these are the master records which we are going to bring into our legacy system or old systems. That means your ledger, your customer, your vendors, your cost centers, your materials, everything we are going to bring into our old system, which we are saying that legacy systems. So these are the solutions we are going to deliver to the customers because they are going for a new implementation. Maybe, for example, let's say earlier they don't have any solutions for asset accounting in their existing application. No need to worry, because maybe in Microsoft Dynamics it was not there, or let's say they don't have a option of calculating the cost of production, or let's say profitability. These advanced features maybe in their existing applications or in existing ERP it is not there. So we are not bothered about whatever it was not there in the old system whenever we are going for implementation, particularly Greenfield or new implementation, because each and everything we are going to introduce from the SAP point of view. So when you are saying that these are the solutions are available, so make sure that you should configure each and everything in real implementation as well as from your practice point of view, and you must have tested also, right? So this type of documents always should be there on when you are going to do any practice or preparation. Make sure that your business process configuration document should be there so that you will get a confidence on this particular requirement. The next one, Brownfield implementation. So Brownfield implementation projects, these are the technical terms SAP using for their new implementation Greenfield and for migration projects for Brownfield. Now in this case, in the old example, SAP is new for the customer, but in this case customer is already using SAP since couple of years or since long time, customer is using SAP. Now this SAP ERP, that means the old one, SAP ECC, so this SAP ERP is migrated to S4 HANA. So that means in place of the old system, now they are going to upgrade. Just like you are using one, let's say your system having, let's say Windows 10, and now you want to upgrade to Windows 11. So it is same hardware, so everything is same, just you upgraded to another operating system, or that is Windows 11. And because of that, maybe some additional settings is required in your laptop. So in total, we can say it is the same hardware, same box, same system, just it is upgraded. So every company, they are looking for the upgradation nowadays. Mostly you will find more number of migration projects in right now, as ECC is going to be outdated and S4 is going to take that place. So SAP ERP is migrated to S4 HANA, and here without re-implementation and without any disruption, because you are not going to, in previous example, you are going to start from the zero. But in this case, it's not like we are going to start from the zero, as they are using SAP. So whatever the changes are there, from which version they are going to upgrade. Like in my example, let's say customer earlier, it is also possible. One example, let's say we can say here, customer is currently using 4.7 ECC 4.7 SAP ERP, and from there they are going for they are migrating to 2022. This is also migration project. Another example, maybe customer is currently using ECC 6 and they are going to migrate to 2022 version of SAP S4. Okay, so these are also migration projects. Now let's say customer is already in Simple Finance, that means they are in HANA, but the older versions. So they are in Simple Finance, and from Simple Finance, they are now going for the S4 HANA Business Suite 2022. So all are your migration projects, but in 3 different example, approach will be different, because in this case, like it is going to take less time because already database migrations completed, some extent data conversions also completed. Now it's just we are going to upgrade. So it is rather migration. We can say this is upgradation version or SAP version upgrade. But these two we can consider it's completely migration and conversion projects. Okay, so that's why in this category I have included multiple examples. So that means when customer is going to migrate from old SAP system to S4 without disrupting existing business process. So for example, let's say customer is currently using 4.7. So that means they don't have the new GL and now they are going to introduce to new GL functionalities in S4. Earlier they are not using new asset accounting. Now they are going to adopt. But existing business process will be there. All the integrations with other modules, everything will be there as usual. So that is why here we are using a term that is delta configuration, because end-to-end configuration is not required. In the previous example, end-to-end configuration was required, but in this case only delta configuration, or wherever the changes are there, those configurations will be there. So again, there is no standard answer. If you'll ask me what is delta configuration, so I don't have an answer what is delta configuration. So once we will do an audit of customer's existing system, so then after that we can suggest how much configuration or how much customization required or how much time it is going to take to complete one migration project. So this is known as your Brownfield implementation. And if we do a comparison between Greenfield and Brownfield, here you can see when customer is going for Greenfield implementation and Brownfield implementation. First of all, if customer is new, then in that case, we are going to advise the customer that they will go for Greenfield implementation. If customer is already there in SAP platform, then we will advise the customer they should upgrade to Brownfield, so that it's not like they will discard the old system and they will go for once again with S4. It's not required. So a same existing system will be upgraded. So that's why here I have listed a couple of points. So if you are not happy with your existing application, it may be ERP, non-ERP, then you can go for new implementation. In this case, customer is already using SAP. Because of some new developments or new features, now it is upgraded. So new system or SAP system is going to be upgraded with old system. If you are prepared that you completely discard your old system, if business is using, let's say, Oracle Finance, so they can't say that you just upgrade this system into SAP. It's not possible, because that is a different product, that is a different ERP solutions. SAP is a different ERP solution. So they have to discard the old system. Of course, we are going to bring all the records, all the master records, balances, everything we will bring into SAP system under your cutover activities, but old system will be discarded. Whereas in this case, whatever the old programs, old G reports, old codes, everything will be bring into the new system, or in fact same system we are going to upgrade. So that's why if you want to maintain our existing code or existing programs, existing reports, so everything will work as usual. Of course, we are going to have the compatibility views, we are going to have the delta customizations, so those things will be there. So it is upgradation system or upgradation of your existing system. So that is your Brownfield implementation. Third point, if you are ready to full scale business process, that means we are going to start it from zero. We are going to discard the old system, then go for new implementation. In this case, some changes will be there. Okay, so less process changes will be there. For example, earlier we have classic asset accounting. Now in S4 we have the new asset accounting. Because of parallel accounting, now we have to restructure the chart of depreciation. We are going to have some more depreciation areas will be there. So that is a process change will be there. But we are not going to introduce a new chart of depreciation. Already we have chart of depreciation. Already we are using since last 5-6 years. So changes will be only there. Then obviously this one is going to take good time. So here you will find that software development life cycle will be very high, because everything will be start, or we are going to build the system from scratch. Whereas in this case, moderate time is going to take, because we are not going to start from zero. But again, how much time it will take, if you'll ask me, then it depends how much data they have, how much data time is required for data cleansing, how much time is required for the data conversion. So all this, and delta configuration. So all these factors will take the time. In another video, I will explain this migration process, but let's do a comparison between these two only right now. Then here it will be high risk, because complete transformation will be there, whereas here it will be a moderate And cost, obviously, this will be the high cost because you are going to start from zero, whereas this one will be your moderate cost. Okay, so now you have a fair idea that when we are going for a new implementation or when we will go for a brownfield implementation. Then this one I already explained, brownfield. Support project, I'm sure you must have good idea on the support. So like these are the different project scenarios should be there in your resume, because interviewer want that you have knowledge on all project so that immediately they can deploy you in the projects. So that is why here it is required that you should have the implementation experience. That does not mean that only they want to hire the experienced candidate. They want you should technically experienced, right? So that's why without having knowledge, if you are showing some fake experience and you are just showing that formalities like have somewhere, so you collected some experience and you are showing, but actually you don't know what is data conversion, but you are saying that I have successfully completed one data conversion or migration project, then you will be in problem. And that is why really they are looking here the experienced candidate for the testing the knowledge, or they immediately everyone is now reduce, they want to deployment reduce the deployment cost. So that's why they don't want to involve, or they don't want to give the training and all. So that's why they are looking here experienced candidate, and that's why always you will find that jobs are available only for experienced candidate. But that is not like that. You, if you can prove it that you have the enough knowledge, then will be you can justify it. That I will talk in a different video, how like you can manage those things. Let's back to the topic. Support project. So in support project, SAP system is already implemented, and now the support is provided in case of any errors, any operational activities, support is required. So any change request is required. In that case, support will be there. Support will be by default, it will be there after a full deployment, then support will be there. So its support cost depends on like how they are going to take the consultant. Like they are going to take part consultant, means partially only for this many hours or this many tickets only we are going to have a bill, or like full team they want to take, or full consultant they want to take. So depends on their work, and if it is a small project, their very minimal requirements will be there, maybe they can go for a part consultant also. So again, that depends how many company codes are there or how many business processes are there. Accordingly this will be decided. But this will be a support project after go live, after go live of any implementation. It may be new implementation or it may be a migration. So that will be the support project. Upgrade version I already explained. So upgrade means from one existing system, like previously the customer is they are let's say 4.7, and in 2017 they upgraded to 16.10 version on S4 HANA. Now 2022 is there with lots of new features, so they want upgrade from 16.10 to S4 HANA. So this will be a upgradation, system upgradation or upgrade SAP version. So whenever company's requirement, this type of requirement will be there. So then this they can go for upgrade versions also. Rollout implementation. Sometimes these requirements also will be there. One new implementation experience, one support implementation, or let's say one migration implementation and one rollout. So all this should be there. As much as you are going to add in your resume, it is going to help you. Rollout implementation project. So SAP implementation done for your organization. Let's say right now we are operating in India. So entire template designed or entire end-to-end configuration done. Now we want to extend to, let's say, Sri Lanka. So we have operation in Sri Lanka, and the same Indian template now we are going to extend, or we are going to copy. So existing company code you can copy with a new company code for your Sri Lanka operation. But because of Sri Lankan some tax changes or because of some customizations, now here the required customization needs to be done. End-to-end configuration is not required because we just copied the Indian template, or entire configuration we copied. So that will be known as your rollout. So only changes we are going to adapt here. So it is a new implementation. It is not migration. Don't think it is migration. It is new implementation for this one, but it will be considered as rollout project. So SAP implementation done for organization or in one country, and that time the same implementation template, means Indian company code implementation, roll out globally to other companies or to other countries. with the required changes or with the specific changes for a local taxation rule. Normally taxation in every country is unique, so that's why that example I have taken, but any changes is required that can be introduced here. So okay, so that is also another type of project. Next, coming to when you are going to design your blueprint. So I was that time showing the blueprint. So what is blueprint? So blueprint is nothing but you are going to design entire business process. So here certain terms are also in interview they will ask. So they will ask, like for example, let's say PDD, right? So that time you will very confused. What is this PDD? So it is nothing but the process definition document. That means where we are going to write the business process so that we can add those things in the system. So particularly you will find in new implementations, that means we understood every business process and now we are going to write in the doc, or we are going to document it. Example, this one. So this is nothing but my process definition document, or every business process I have written here, so that accordingly I'm going to do my configuration. So this is nothing but your blueprint, right? So the terms are maybe anything, but it is the process document only. Then sometimes we are going to also, like you will find the terms, that is COE, that means configuration object elements. So that means global level, or configuration specific documents, regional level. So these types of terms you will find very often, but these are all related to your blueprint. Then you will find that what is gap, or what are the gap analysis you did during your previous implementation whenever you are showing that. So example you have to give as per your previous configuration and all, but I'm just explaining in general. So gap is whenever any organization business process cannot be met with SAP standard functionalities, because SAP standard functionalities, whatever it is there, so it is not applicable universally. So some changes is required, or some specifications which are customers requirement is there, and right now in the standard system it is not available. So for example, there is a requirement of functional specification which you are saying that FS. So because of this gap means you are just going to compare two different solutions. So whatever the license we purchase or the standard solutions, so 90% things or 95% requirement met, but 5% solutions are not there. In that case, we have to, that is your gap. That is your gap analysis, which we are saying that fit gap analysis. And that particular should be added in the system. Again, here two terms will be there. One is your FS and TS, functional specifications. So which is a document obviously which will be prepared by the functional consultant. So in this document we will map the business requirement so that can be mapped in the system, because it is not there in the standard one, right? Another example that is, you can say, for example, let's say we are going to have a banking process we are going to introduce, and whatever it is there in the standard solutions, although right now in S4 latest versions a lot of things are simplified, but let's say something is not there, then in that case those additional, let's say our bank reconciliation is not fully working as per the customer's bank statements. So if some modifications will be there, then that can be come under your gap analysis. And technical specifications, again, which will be done by the technical people. So it means how we are going to do the specific developments, the programs, okay, codes, all these things will contain your technical specification. So you no need to worry about the technical specification, but yes, functional specification will be your area, and that you have to stay. At least in like an interview, you will find, can you give us any example which was like 3 examples, because in every project some functional specifications will be there, and it is recurring. You can't say that after new implementation functional specification will not be there. In future, if some requirements will be there, some business requirement will be there, maybe functional requirement of functional specifications will be there, or RISE-up document need to be prepared. So these are the practical areas you need to be more careful. Okay, so just having the knowledge, I know this configuration and all this, it is definitely that is required, but this will be added which should be there. So the types of projects in all, make sure that in your resume all type of projects details should be there, right? And you should prepare for all type of project knowledge. So I hope you got some idea. If any questions, anything, feel free to add in the comments, or you can mail me. Thank you. Take care.